CentralValleyTalk.com.
Well, hello, Fresno. It's Let's Talk Business. My name is Steve Walling, and my guest for this segment of my show today is Paul Henry Abrams. Paul, welcome to the show. Now, you got an interesting story to tell me today. Paul is the author of a book called Trona, Bloody Trona. That's it right there. It was printed this year, copyright's 213. And before we got on the show, you were telling me about it. Give me some of the history of this Trona, Bloody Trona.
Well, Trona, first of all, is a little tiny desert town. It's also called the Gateway to Death Valley. It's in the middle of the Mojave Desert. Average temperature about 116 degrees.
Ooh.
The strike started back in March of 1970, and I was chosen to go up there from our law firm in Los Angeles. I was with the firm of Margolis, McTurnan, Smith, Scope, and Herring, and they were a major labor law firm.
Mm-hmm.
I was a criminal lawyer. I'd never done labor law in my life, and they sent me up there to handle the strike, meaning the criminal end of the strike.
Figuring there was going to be some arrests and
There
stuff.
were going to be some arrests,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. And I had coincidentally gone to work for them on March 18th, and the 750 strikers walked out on Kerr-McGee on March 18th.
March 18th.
Right.
750 workers.
750 and their families.
In the greater scheme of things, that's not a lot of people, and Trona is not a big town.
No,
And
it's
yet,
not.
you were telling me before the show, this had a very large impact in the labor relations in this country. What?
That's very true.
Is that's what the story's about, basically, or
That's what it's about.
yeah?
It's the strike didn't just impact the families of Trona. It impacted the labor movement. It was a fight against, at the time, the world's largest conglomerate, Kerr-McGee, and it was an attempt, the last, if you will, almost last attempt at labor speaking back and saying, no, we won't take these kinds of conditions, and we won't. It was a non-economic strike. They weren't asking for money. They were asking for rights.
Work conditions.
That's right.
And, we don't think about it too much, people that live in a cosmopolitan-type lifestyle for the most part, but there's still people today that are dealing with work conditions that are not necessarily beneficial to them, their families, their health, or whatever. And
That's so very true. Most people won't believe this, but Trona, the 750 workers and their families were paid in script, company script, until 1958. That's deplorable. It took a United States Supreme Court decision to make Kerr-McGee stop that. I keep saying Kerr-McGee. I want to straighten one thing out. At the time of the strike, at the time the strike started,
Mm-hmm.
it was against the then owner, American Potash, which came out from Oklahoma and had been there for like 100 years. No sooner had the strike started and Kerr-McGee bought them out.
bought them out.
So the rest of the strike was against Kerr-McGee, and Kerr-McGee came in there for one reason and one reason only, and that was to bust the union.
Okay? And the union that they were busting was not some small union. It was
No, it's one of the largest, I don't know if it was the largest at the time, it's the ILWU, International Longshore and Warehousemen's Union. Trona was a local of that international union. They were local 35. One of the things, if I might digress a bit,
Sure.
is the ILWU helped in a large way. They not only supported the strike financially through all locals all over the world, literally, but when it came time to really try to do something to the company to make them sit down and talk, at least listen, and hurt them financially enough to do so, it was decided that, hey, the way they ship their product throughout the world is to send it on their own railroad cars through the gate that was locked on out to the ocean, down to San Pedro and Long Beach. And we all came up with the idea of, hey, Cesar Chavez was big at the time,
Yeah.
teaching us all about first and secondary boycotts. In other words, where and when can we strike? Can we put up a picket line? And so we decided to put up a picket line down at the docks, right where the trains were coming in, and the Teamsters and the longshoremen were to cooperate in unloading the ships. Well, we won out, and a lot of ships went out empty. So the ILWU, in that sense, helped in a big way. They took a chance of being arrested. They put their lives and jobs on the line down in San Pedro and Long Beach, which was Local 13.
Now, the story that you tell in this book, what's the purpose of the story and the telling?
The purpose of the story is to raise awareness of what unions are and their necessity. I mean, so many people just badmouth and don't understand unions. You know, don't forget, unions brought you the weekend. Okay, the unions kept children out of factories. The purpose is to try to relate in as humanistic a way as possible how big business can affect the lives of all Americans.
Now, and you were saying before we started that there really needs to be a resurgence in unions today. And you mentioned, I'm sorry, the name slips my mind. The local protests that took, or the national protests that took place last year.
Occupy,
right?
Yeah.
You know, and that, you know, we need to essentially wake up to smell the roses that aren't smelling so sweet today, basically, in the work environment.
Very true. I mean, how much longer are we going to watch the rich get richer and the poor get poorer? That's just what it's about. It's time for a resurgence because union membership is at an all-time low. The way that unions are spoken of, especially on the news media, I hate to say it, but one of my pet peeves is with TV anchor people that report strikes. You know, they say, oh my God, you know, the local bread workers have gone out on strike today, and so boy, oh boy, are you going to pay at the market? No, you're going to pay at the market, Mr. Anchorman or Anchorwoman. I mean, we're all laborers. Every one of us are laborers. We get a check and we spend it. And unfortunately, those that we do call laborers, persons that in this book are in a union, they spend all of it. They spend every last cent of it just on survival. That's not right.
Yeah, and I'm not going to ask you to give away the story per se, but in the long run, the union's lost in this deal, right?
In the long run, yes.
Yeah. And this would be a book. Now, you were telling me the title of this book came from a speech that you gave where?
At UCLA Law School.
The UCLA Law School.
It was quite comical. I received a phone call out in the middle of the desert from a law student at UCLA, and I had no idea why. And what he ended up asking was for me to come out to the law school and tell the student body what was going on, mainly because it started in March. This was probably in about April, early May, and they're getting ready to go on summer break and have nothing to do. He said, you recall that, and I had nothing to do in law school but work, because work at menial tasks. You can't get a job in a law firm as a law student. Anyway, they invited me out, and I accepted. And when I arrived at the law school, there was a big, huge sandwich board sign that said, Paul Henry Abram, lawyer, speaks today, Trona, bloody Trona.
Very good. Now, where can somebody purchase this book?
You can get it on my website, which is the publisher's website, www.paulhenryabram.com. I'd urge you to get it there because you'll get it autographed.
That's
nice. You can also get it on Amazon.
Okay, so you can get it on Amazon. It's on the thing below, the banner below, paulhenryabram.com. Order it there. You can get the book. Our history in this country is significantly impacted by the way labor, as you were saying at the beginning. Thank you, unions, we have weekends off.
Yes.
But there's many more different ways, and I happen to be a history buff, so anything that, people can take we need to learn our history because, what is it, that saying goes, those that fail to remember history are destined to repeat. And there's some things we just don't need to repeat. And there's some things
Very
we
true.
need to grow from. Paul, I want to thank you for being on the show today.
Hey, my pleasure.
Hey, this was appreciate it.
Thank you.
Good luck with the book. I think this is something important. I love the picture on the back.
That's me and my son.
That's you and your son. Cool.
During a break where we were able to go out and dune buggy around Trona.
There you go. All right. Well, once again, thank you for being on the show, and we're going to take our first commercial break here, and I will see you when we come back.
Thank you, Mike.
If you've got something to say and you'd like a place to say it, check out centralvalleytalk.com. We are interviewing for new talk show hosts at this time. If you'd like to advertise on centralvalleytalk.com, go to our website and it'll tell you what to do. centralvalleytalk.com.
The hunt to quench your thirst is on. Ecolo Blue is a revolutionary atmospheric water generator, producing water straight from the air, up to 8 gallons a day at 20 cents per gallon with no additional hookup required. Ecolo Blue is the clear champion of the water solution revolution. To health, to purity, to the pursuit. Ecolo Blue.
Hi, Stan Gross of Horn Photo. Are you looking for a camera that takes better pictures than your phone? Why not give Horn Photo a shot? We can show you fantastic cameras from Nikon, Canon, Sony, and GoPro. Your time is valuable, so before you buy from Costco, Best Buy, or the internet, come see us. We've got great prices and deals, super knowledgeable staff, and we've been selling cameras in Fresno for 76 years. We're in the Villaggio at Blackstone and Nees, or go to hornphoto.com, Fresno's Camera Center.
Own it all at Car Fresno.
Ag is a vital part of the economy here in the Central Valley. Hi, I'm Ty Simpson, sales manager of the new Bland Solar office here in Clovis. And if you're in the ag industry, you've probably given thought to solar. Whether you run a dairy, orchard, farm, or ranch, at Bland Solar, we can custom design a system that's perfect for your business. The fact is that in this economy, replacing high-cost utility power with solar power is a great way to improve your bottom line. Bland Solar looks forward to serving the residents of the Central Valley. So call us today at 554-5657. Bland Solar, the Valley's expert in solar.
So why switch to Dish?
With Dish, you get more options, you get more value, you get more channels. With Dish, you get more.
And now you get more for less. Save up to $872 in just your first year with our best deal ever. With promotional prices starting at just $19.99 a month for 12 months.
We've gotten better quality, better customer service.
And now you can even get HD channels free for life.
We are Dish customers for life. We love Dish.
This is our best deal ever. Call now to switch to Dish.
For all of your real estate needs, call Mike Briggs Properties, 559-486-6758, or check us out at MikeBriggsProperties.com.
CentralValleyTalk.com.
Well, hello, Fresno. It's Let's Talk Business. My name is Steve Walling, and boy, have I got a guest for you this segment. If you look behind me, you'll see the logo for the Heat Wave, and they're located here in Fresno, Rancho Madera, Madera Ranchos.
Yes.
This is Reggie Davis,
Yes.
And you are the coach for this team.
Yes.
Tell us about it.
Well, ABA basketball is an exciting brand of basketball, and we're here to let everybody know that we do play in the Madera Ranchos at Liberty High School. And our next game is December 21st at 6 p.m., and we welcome everybody to come out.
December 21st, 6 p.m. at Liberty High School. If you don't know where that is, it's out on what, Avenue 12?
Avenue 12.
It's out on Avenue 12. If you're coming from Fresno, head up 41, get to Avenue 12, make a left, you go out there, and there is a signal at that intersection. I happen to know that for a fact. Been there before. Okay, so this is exciting. We got pro ball, basketball here in the Valley, in the Ranchos. How long you been there, guy?
Well, we're new here. This is our first season. We originally were at Fresno Heat Wave 10 years ago. We've been the last 7 years in Sacramento, and so we're back here to the Valley bringing exciting pro basketball again.
So, okay, you were here and you had to leave, or you chose to leave.
Chose to leave,
Okay, and now you're back.
Yes.
And we need this in the Valley.
Yes,
We need-
absolutely.
we need it for so many different reasons, and I'm excited that you're back here. This is great. But this is your first season back.
It's the first season back.
All right, how's things been going? How's the team doing?
Well, we're coming along pretty well. We've played a couple games already, and we're 1-1. And but they all been very exciting games, close games. So it's a fan-friendly game. It's a fan-friendly atmosphere. It's great food, great entertainment,
Wait a second.
and a lot of fun.
You said the magic word, great food?
Great food,
Great
absolutely.
food, great entertainment,
Yeah.
great food. Doesn't get any better than that.
Doesn't get much better than that.
You got
That's
me
right.
signed up.
That's
I'm on
right,
board
yeah.
with that. All right.
Yeah.
So, all right, who are the players? Who are we looking at? If I were to go to the game, who am I looking at that I may want to key on? Is there anybody in particular, or is it just pretty solid all-around team?
Well, it is pretty solid all around. We've had John Taylor, who's a former Fresno Pacific University All-American, and he's been playing with us. The first game, he scored 55 points in his pro debut, so that was pretty exciting. And so we have a cast of guys. Some of them are local, and some of them from other areas of the country. But so it's a variety of guys, and it's an exciting brand of game basketball that really gets up and down the floor, and a lot of scoring, 100-point minimum.
Whoa, okay, there's a lot of excitement with that.
A lot of excitement, absolutely.
Whoa, good stuff.
Yeah.
How long you been coaching, Reggie?
I've probably been coaching since 2005. So
Yeah?
Yes.
Like it, huh?
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. I'm a teacher.
Yeah?
Yeah. So.
Well, that's great.
Yeah.
I'll tell you a story after we're off, but I did a little coaching, but it was football in high school and stuff. But anyway, the 21st, what time's the game go off?
Tips off at 6 p.m.
Tips off at 6 p.m. So, you want to get there probably about 5:15, 5:30. Get
Yes.
in, get a seat, get the food,
Yep.
get comfortable.
Yes.
Okay. When you go on the road, where do you guys travel to right now? Are you all over the place, or?
Well, we play in the Pacific Northern California division. We play Southern California teams as well. So, we'll play in San Francisco. We'll play in parts of the Bay Area and Southern California. So we pretty much kind of stay geographically to that area until playoff time.
Okay.
Yes.
And at this level, now, my family, we're big football fans, but, I much prefer to watch like college ball than I do to watch, the mega $1 million teams and stuff, that everything's so, tailored and stuff. Is it that way with your flavor of basketball? Because you guys you're not the big guys, but you're still a pro ball, but you bring more excitement to the game, don't you?
Well, yeah, and the ABA brand is designed for excitement, scoring, high scoring. So it's like college basketball, but it's pro level. It's like a tweener.
Yeah.
So you still get that fast pace that you get in the college basketball
That's hot.
world, but you have a professional edge to it at the same time. And the ABA has a signature, what's called the 3D rule, and it keeps the game exciting. So no lead is ever safe, because when you get a steal in the backcourt and you make a 2-point shot, it becomes a 3-point, and a 3-point shot becomes a 4-point. So no leads are ever safe. 20-point, 30-point leads are never safe. So you better stick around to the end.
Right to the end.
Right to the end.
Man,
So,
and that can be, people don't understand how critical the last couple seconds can
absolutely. Our first
yeah.
game was 125 to 124.
Whoa.
And, and it came down to the last play to win the game. So that's the kind of excitement that fans can expect to have. And along with a good experience of having the game up close to them, where they can reach out and practically touch the players, but they can meet the players after the game and
They can.
and stuff like that.
So they get a chance to interact with the players.
Absolutely.
So I can be Jack Nicholson sitting on the sideline. And,
Absolutely.
That's
yeah.
cool.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's what we want. So we want to see that.
And
yeah.
you get that interaction.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
Yeah.
great.
So,
for you, the action, the scoring, and stuff like that, also working with these young men, what is it what really drives Reggie as a coach? Is it just the competition? Is it teaching men, young men up into a professional, skill? What is it that really rocks your world, so to speak?
It's not basketball. No, I'm just kidding. But you can bet that. But no, but I really do enjoy teaching the guys. Really trying to get them to a professional mentality, a professional work ethic, and trying to get them to this level to be prepared for the next level if they're able to get there. So,
And some of these young men will move on to the next level.
some will, yeah. Some will get overseas jobs once in a while. One might get to the NBA. That's a long shot, but it's still a very good professional career to have.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Now, you overseas, and this is something growing, I didn't realize, there is a big overseas association for basketball and stuff like that for athletes,
Yes.
you know.
Yes, absolutely, and so it's probably the next logical step for 90% of the guys. So, but it's still a good living, and I've known some guys that make great living. Some of them still live here, and they still have pretty nice houses, and they still nice toys too. So,
Well, there you go.
Yeah,
There is that.
Yeah.
Okay.
They have dancers too. You want to see them?
Oh, they got dancers. All right, let's put on the dancers here. Not that we go to see dancers.
No,
we go
absolutely.
for the
It's
action.
strictly about basketball.
There you go.
Strictly about basketball.
There you go.
But it is an exciting experience, and for the value, we really think it's the best entertainment value around. So for 2.5 hours of entertainment, for $10 general admission, $5 for kids and seniors under 12. I mean, it's really an unbelievable value.
That is, yeah, you can't.
And so we also offer, merchandise. We sell the balls. We sell little mini balls, which are great for kids. Love those actually, and they're great Christmas gifts and so on. So we have some merchandise offers as well. So and good food and a great night out for $10 is unbelievable.
That's you can't walk past a pro booth for $10.
No, not at all. I mean, if you think about a $10 movie and for an hour and a half, and you have to sit there and be quiet, and you can for $10 you can come here and make all the noise you want. We invite you to make as much noise as you can and root for your home team.
Oh, that's great. What's the next? Who's your biggest competition team-wise? I mean, you got a particular team that you guys are really,
Well, there's probably a couple of them that are probably really, and the one on December 21st is a huge game for us against the Bay Area Matrix. And they're the defending division champs for the last 2 years. So we
So this game's not just a game. This game's got some juice behind it. There's some stuff.
Absolutely, it is, and so we're hoping we can get a huge turnout and make a lot of noise, and we can really build an audience in the Madera Ranchos. So.
And bringing an audience in. And this is where you come in, my friends. When you come down to support the team, it's you. They are that extra man on the team.
Absolutely.
They bring that energy. They bring the noise. And when the guys are out there and they got a crowd really pushing for them.
Yes.
It really, it brings their extra. They reach down a little deeper. They can grab a little bit more.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. The audience is so important that we have a good, loud, verbal audience that makes all the difference in the world. So we hope they all come out. Matter of fact, if I'm going to do something like this, our mini balls is one of our really popular things. And for the first 50 people that buy the tickets online, I'm going to give them a free mini ball.
Nice.
You heard it here first. First 50 people to buy online, get a mini ball. And that's at that website that's right there.
That's right, heatwavelive.com.
Heatwavelive.com.
Right.
First 50. Hey, you want to be there. What is it, be there or you're going to just lose out?
That's right.
That's it.
That's the deal.
That's great. So you guys got a big game coming. You're looking to get a big crowd. And this is your first year back in the area. You're coming back, the area. What kind of did you get a good reception coming back into the Central Valley? I mean, did people, say, "Man, where you been? We've been missing you."
Well, yeah, we did, and the Madera Ranchos community in itself has really been great, and they've really embraced us, and they've made it a lot easier for us to make the transition back, and so they really welcomed us with open arms, and that's more than we could have, counted on. Absolutely.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, they've been great. So.
Yeah, that's a growing area out there,
Yes.
and you guys are going to grow with them and stuff. So they can get the tickets online. Of course, they can get the tickets right at the door. Of course,
Yeah.
you're not going to be one of the 50 if you wait to get your ticket at the door. Are there any other places that they can buy tickets, or is that pretty much it?
Well, online or at the door, and there are a couple of places in the Madera Ranchos, at the Madera Ranchos Barbershop, the Madera Ranchos Chamber of Commerce. So there's a couple of places there in the Ranchos.
Call the Chamber of Commerce if you can't figure it out, and they'll tell you they've got tickets there.
Yeah,
so that's good. All right, so this is California heat wave. Man, you guys are going to be hot, and you're a competitor this year, right?
Oh, absolutely.
You guys are going to go all
We're
the way,
always a
right?
competitor. That's
yeah,
right.
that's it, man.
That's right.
All right. Well, I hope to see good things from you,
Yeah,
Reggie.
yeah,
I want to
yeah,
thank you for
pleasure.
being on
Thanks
the show.
for having me.
This
Absolutely.
is cool. Hey, even got their own logo on there, ABA, and right. And we need to do. We got young people here that they need this type of stuff.
Sure.
They can't get it somewhere else. We're not L.A. We're not San Francisco.
Right.
We're the Central Valley,
Right.
and that you guys can bring this kind of stuff is just hot.
Yeah,
it's just
it is.
good.
It is. Heat wave is hot.
There you go.
You got it. You're in the club.
That's it. All right, thank you again,
Pleasure.
Reggie.
Thanks a lot.
Good luck,
Appreciate
and
it.
I will
Yeah.
be seeing you, I'm
Yeah,
sure.
thank you. I
All right,
appreciate
take
it.
care.
Thanks. Take
Bye-bye.
care.
I'm Mike Briggs, owner and CEO at CentralValleyTalk.com. If you like talk radio, you'll love CentralValleyTalk.com. All local, all live, all the time, CentralValleyTalk.com.
Have you seen a house for sale in the Tower District that you might like to own? It doesn't matter what realtor in town is selling it. If you like it, check it out at TowerDistrictProperties.com.
I'm Christopher Bundros. I'm a CPA in Clovis. People come to me who haven't filed their taxes in quite a while, or when they do file their tax returns, they're surprised by how much taxes they owe. Or when tax season comes along, their records are so disorganized they have no idea what their income or expenses are. Call me at 559-765-0313 to arrange a complimentary 30-minute needs assessment. You can also find me on the web at clovisaccounting.com.
If you have a pet, a horse, a dog, or a giant tortoise, sooner or later, you're going to have to scoop the poo.
Scoop the poo, scoop the poo, scoop the poo, take care of you. What you don't want to do, scoop the poo will do for you.
Hello, I'm Shelley at Horn Photo, and it's time to do more with your pictures. Get those images out of your camera, off your computer, and rescued from deep within your phone, and turn them into memorable photo keepsakes and gifts. Here at Horn Photo in Fresno, we have many wonderful photo items that we produce in-house, and we're here to help you find your individual style. So now's the time. Stop by Horn Photo in the Bellagio at Blackstone and East, or visit us online at hornphoto.com to explore the possibilities.
Hey, everybody, let's have some fun. Right. You only live once, and when you're dead, you're done. So let the good times roll. Let the good times roll. Let the good times
Watch Mike and Athena Fridays at 1 p.m. on CentralValleyTalk.com.
So why switch to Dish?
With Dish, you get more options, you get more value, you get more channels. With Dish, you get more.
And now you get more for less. Save up to $872 in just your first year with our best deal ever. With promotional prices starting at just $19.99 a month for 12 months.
We've gotten better quality, better customer service.
And now you can even get HD channels free for life.
We are Dish customers for life. We love Dish.
This is our best deal ever. Call now to switch to Dish.
For all of your real estate needs, call Mike Briggs Properties, 559-486-6758, or check us out at MikeBriggsProperties.com.
CentralValleyTalk.com.
You're live.
Well, welcome back, Fresno. It's Let's Talk Business. I'm Steve Walling, and my guest, I have a very special guest for this segment. Sandra Bustos is going to be joining me. Sandra, welcome. And what makes Sandra so special, just because, besides the fact that she's special, is that Sandra's going to be having a show right here on this station. We're going to see it Monday at 2 o'clock. What's the name of the show going to be, Sandra?
Lifestyle Changes.
Lifestyle Changes. All right, so that's kind of an exciting concept. Tell me about the show.
Well, it is going to be a variety of things that we want to do, but first we want to empower women.
Okay.
And so what we're trying to do is just give them a platform to show us their strengths.
All right.
By telling us about their journey in life, whether it be succeeding in a business, whether it be going to school, trying to succeed in a future, whether it be succeeding with their families, just succeeding.
So it's going to be an interview show. You're going to have
Basically
an interview show.
A platform for women to tell us about themselves and their journeys.
All right. And do you got a lineup yet for?
I do.
Okay.
For the January month, which is when it starts, January 6th on Mondays at 2:00, and I have a few of what I like to call my friends. People joke about that, but they're actually my colleagues. But we went to school together.
Okay.
And they are professionals now.
All right. And if you happen to be out there and you're a professional lady and you feel that you got something to contribute, how do they get a hold of you, Sandra?
Well, they can get a hold of me by my email, which is lifestylechanges@gmail.com. Or they can always find me on Facebook.
Okay.
Which is also Lifestyle Changes at Facebook.
Lifestyle
Same title.
Uh-huh.
Or they can find me at Sandra Bustos on Facebook as well.
All right. So, okay, we're going to be doing this interview show. This is going to be good. When obviously I'm not a young lady, not even an old lady.
And you don't have to be a young lady or an old lady. You just have to be a lady.
Just have to be a lady. There you go. But when I come to your show and I've got something to share, okay, what do I expect with you? What are you going to bring to the table for me that's going to excite me to come to your show, basically?
Well, hopefully you have a relationship with me, either from the past or current, or you would like to have some type of a relationship with me in the means of maybe I've met you as a teacher, because I'm a teacher.
Okay.
But I don't want it to be about me. The focus I want it to be as a show is on the individual visitor. However, I bring to the table my experience as a woman, as a teacher, as a life coach, as a future doctor, as a person that's had a journey, as a mother, as a student that I am currently, and as a scholar, because I'm an international scholar student.
Okay. But by the way you describe it, sounds like also that it might be a way of networking.
It is a network because I'm also the president of the National Association of Professional Women for the Valley.
Okay.
However, no one platform will have the stage. The
Right.
person I'm speaking to will have the stage, and my interest in them is finding out how they're getting through their journey as I've gotten through mine.
So not only if I have the opportunity to be a guest on your show, not only do I get to share my story, but I also get the benefit of your experience and your story, and I also get the exposure that your show's going to bring to me, and the basically the network of your network.
And the network of your network. And what I really want to say is that really I'm like every other woman. And whoever's going to be here pretty much is like-minded. They're like every other woman. We just have different journeys. And we want to help those that are going on their journey or possibly thinking about having journeys like ours to feel that they can do whatever it is they want to do. As a young girl, as a woman maybe starting in a new industry, maybe a young woman going through a divorce, maybe a young woman just starting in a new phase in her life of any kind.
Okay. Is there, to begin with, in the early stages of your show, okay, is there something special that you're looking to highlight in a woman's journey? Or just kind of a...
Girl power.
Girl power, okay. Now, explain girl power.
Girl power just basically means, and what we usually say in our friendship circle, is we can do anything if we put our mind to it.
I like that.
And that anything can be just anything. It doesn't have to be what I've done. Doesn't have to necessarily be what I think can be done. But each individual visitor, which will be the person on the show at each date, moving forward, will have different journeys. And I realize that. I'm not selling what I've done, not necessarily selling what they've done, just showing different ways to do it, to empower women.
I shared a while back the story. There's a young lady that, I forgot the name of the school, but her name is Heaven Viejos. And there was an article on her in the Fresno Bee. She's 9
Really?
years
Her
old.
name's Heaven? Oh, she's
9 years old.
Okay.
And she wanted to do cross country.
Mm-hmm.
You know, for a 9-year-old that it's a school, wants to do, there's nothing unusual about that.
Right.
She's blind from birth. And she has succeeded in becoming a cross country participant
Right.
at the school.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because she had an idea that she could do it. And handicaps weren't part of the equation. You know, she set her mind, and she went to her family and she said, "This is what I want to do." And they've supported her, obviously, and they've gone to the school, and they've created a way that this young woman, 9 years old, can participate and compete in cross country, having never
See.
had sight from birth. Okay?
So what does that tell you in itself? That story that you just told me, what does that tell you in itself?
Anything is available to anyone,
No matter what the adversity is.
to anyone.
Not that you need adversity.
That's right.
However, we all have bumps in the road. We will tell our stories. It
That's
is
right.
our choice, and our platform here
Mhm.
will be to give them the opportunity to tell their stories.
That's
No
right.
one should tell your story.
Mhm.
The opportunity that we'll be giving to our guests
Mhm.
is the opportunity to tell their story. And
And-
that's powerful.
And while we got a couple minutes here left,
Mhm.
tell me a little bit of your story.
A little bit of my story. Well, I grew up as a young girl wanting to run cross country as well.
Okay.
I started running, but you know, my mom was a single parent when I wanted to do this, which was my 7th and 8th grade year.
Uh-huh.
Middle school,
Yeah.
we had no money for that.
Mhm.
So I just ran as a hobby down Huntington Street.
Okay.
And that's what I just did as a routine because I knew there was no money for me to do that. So I
Mhm.
never was in sports. I always wanted to be in sports. The only thing I really could do was read a book.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what I did. And so I went to school, and I'm the only college educated
In your
sister
family?
of 7.
All right.
hmm
Very good.
Not that they didn't try, just bumps in the road got in the way.
Uh-huh.
Not that they still can't finish.
Mhm.
I'm hoping that most of them still feel that they can. And I believe that is the real energy behind the program,
Sure.
that we can.
You know, when people get the idea, the consciousness, that there's only one difference between a successful person and someone that hasn't succeeded, and that is the successful person is willing to do what
Right.
the unsuccessful person decides they don't want to do.
Right.
It's just making a choice, you know.
Mhm.
And you're right, obstacles, life is about obstacles.
Right. Whether
But-
we have a shield up or not
Mm-hmm.
happens.
And, you know, the thing is, if you understand that it's always just a choice, it always comes down to just a choice.
Right. Exactly.
You know, and never ever look at yourself as having been a failure, even if you didn't succeed in one area, because you've learned something.
Right.
You know, you've always learned
Right.
something. You can always take something away, and maybe you'll go back to that. Maybe you learn that, hey, you know, that's something I really don't want to do. I'm going to do something over here.
Right.
Whatever. It's not. You know, that's not significant. The significance is how you see yourself.
And the learning you used to go on and move forward to do other things that you may have thought you couldn't do.
You're always enough. And
Right.
You need to know that.
Right.
And so that's great. So that's what your show's going to be about.
That's what the show's going to be about, and hopefully, you know, the stories will help those listening, viewing,
Mhm.
hearing, decide to do things at any age,
Mhm.
at any time in their life.
And that's very, very
We're
powerful.
hoping to inspire.
Very empowering.
Mhm.
And you're going to bring that to the Central Valley, to the
Yes.
young ladies here. And I think that's great.
Isn't it?
I think it's wonderful.
It is, and eventually I would like to, and I am building a lecture series to take into the schools, starting at the middle schools, and guest speak on the subject.
You know, that's that's something that's very, very timely and very needed. And that's,
Very needed, and
yeah.
I believe those that, of us, in those that have grown up and educated ourselves,
Mhm.
because I'm down the road now at the PhD level,
Mhm.
they're leaving Fresno,
Yeah.
but we need it here.
Yeah. That's
Do you
right.
know
we
that
do.
I can make large amounts of money, but it's not about the money,
Mhm.
it's about the need and the lives that can be touched, because the reason I'm here is because a teacher talked to me.
Mhm.
And I still remember, and I'm still to this day looking for Miss Cheryl Boney.
Miss
And
Cheryl
I have
Boney?
not been able to contact her. But it was because of her when I was 16.
Well,
But
how
I
wonderful
started
is that?
college at 16.
One person.
one person.
Touching another.
And if she is listening, I would like her to try to contact me, Miss Cheryl Boney. She was a teacher at Roosevelt High School, and I was there last week, and I let them know that I am beginning my journey into speaking to raise the awareness for young girls to do what I'm doing.
Oh, that's great. Well, Sandra, I want to thank you for being on today. I know you're going to have a great show. I'm very excited for you. This is wonderful, and I'm excited for what you're bringing to the table.
Thanks for
Very
having
good.
me. Thank
All
you.
right. Well, that's it for this segment, and we'll see you when we come back.
If you've got something to say and you'd like a place to say it, check out centralvalleytalk.com. We are interviewing for new talk show hosts at this time. If you'd like to advertise on centralvalleytalk.com, go to our website and it'll tell you what to do. centralvalleytalk.com.
The hunt to quench your thirst is on. Ecolo Blue is a revolutionary atmospheric water generator, producing water straight from the air, up to 8 gallons a day at 20 cents per gallon with no additional hookup required. Ecolo Blue is the clear champion of the water solution revolution. To health, to purity, to the pursuit. Ecolo Blue.
Hi, Stan Gross of Horn Photo. Are you looking for a camera that takes better pictures than your phone? Why not give Horn Photo a shot? We can show you fantastic cameras from Nikon, Canon, Sony, and GoPro. Your time is valuable, so before you buy from Costco, Best Buy, or the internet, come see us. We've got great prices and deals, super knowledgeable staff, and we've been selling cameras in Fresno for 76 years. We're in the Villaggio at Blackstone and Nees, or go to hornphoto.com, Fresno's Camera Center.
Own it all at Onacar, Fresno.
Ag is a vital part of the economy here in the Central Valley. Hi, I'm Ty Simpson, sales manager of the new Bland Solar office here in Clovis. And if you're in the ag industry, you've probably given thought to solar. Whether you run a dairy, orchard, farm, or ranch, at Bland Solar, we can custom design a system that's perfect for your business. The fact is that in this economy, replacing high-cost utility power with solar power is a great way to improve your bottom line. Bland Solar looks forward to serving the residents of the Central Valley. So call us today at 554-5657. Bland Solar, the Valley's expert in solar.
So why switch to Dish?
With Dish, you get more options, you get more value, you get more channels. With Dish, you get more.
And now you get more for less. Save up to $872 in just your first year with our best deal ever. With promotional prices starting at just $19.99 a month for 12 months.
We've gotten better quality, better customer service.
And now you can even get HD channels free for life.
We are Dish customers for life. We love Dish.
This is our best deal ever. Call now to switch to Dish.
For all of your real estate needs, call Mike Briggs Properties, 559-486-6758, or check us out at MikeBriggsProperties.com.
CentralValleyTalk.com.
Well, welcome back, Fresno. This is Let's Talk Business. My name is Steve Walling, and my guest for this segment is Joanna Botello. She is a candidate for the 16th Congressional District in 2014, and before the break we were talking about the water issue, and during the break we got to talking about the real estate, how government is affecting real estate. Now we all know that real estate, it hit a peak about 6 years ago, and then the bottom fell out of the market, and a lot of people got hurt. Not only people in the real estate business, but homeowners got hurt, lending institutions got hurt, and what happened was the government jumped in from all sides and all ways. And so now the government involvement in real estate has become quite an issue. And what do you see going on with that? What is, for you, how do you see this playing out?
Well, I really just know from my experience, I was kind of on the forefront of it just getting in real estate when the term short sale was invented. Nobody even knew what that was. And so you had to kind of learn that a short sale is when you owe more than your property's worth, so you're selling it for you're shorting the bank basically. And the banks weren't really on board with this.
Mhm.
They didn't want to do it. And I had some experiences where I could have sold a property for less than what was owed, but far more than what they ended up foreclosing the home for. But the bank refused to get on board and act quickly and swiftly. And I thought it was very interesting for me going to San Joaquin College of Law, learning about contract law, how the Uniform Commercial Code affects the sale of goods.
Mhm.
And that has a requirement in it that says if there's a breach, the person who didn't breach, the person who did nothing wrong, has a duty to mitigate the loss if they can. So if you wanted 15 purple strawberries and I sent you 15 blue strawberries, you can't just put the blue strawberries outside and let them die. You have to put them in cold storage or do something to send them back and mitigate the loss for the person who sent you the wrong thing. You'll still get compensated, but there's got to be mitigation there. And one of the biggest things I saw is that the banks were not required to do this. And someone looked at me and said, oh, well, of course they're not selling goods. They're a bank. They don't have to mitigate the loss and follow the Uniform Commercial Code. And I thought, of course they don't, but doesn't that make sense why other businesses have to mitigate losses and follow certain codes, but we don't have these codes in place for big business?
Yeah.
Who have the greatest impact, who I think could have stopped the housing crash in its tracks. Anything that you learn when you take an economics class as an ag business major from Fresno State, you take a ton of economics because farming is all about supply and demand and how prices interact with that. And so I just thought, why do these politicians seem to not know anything about economics? And you can tell when the economy starts flowing in one direction, it kind of gains speed like anything else does, and it's going to keep going in that direction. So when you get that direction spinning the wrong way, you want to have things in place where people like the big banks are going to step in and mitigate that. Not the government is going to step in and do a bailout so that they can want to do it, but incentivize them to be good stewards, good business owners. And I just think that there's so much corruption in politicians, so much big money, that we don't have those things in place because the people have lost our power, and I think we need to take it back.
So much corruption in money in politics, and there is a phrase that goes career politicians.
Yeah.
Okay? People that have jumped in from the time they basically started into the work environment. You know, maybe they were interns for someone or whatever. You know, they run for an office, they run, continuously to get reelected.
Yep.
Maybe they move up the chain or whatever, but they have no real experience in the real world. But yet they can tell you all about what it takes to run an almond farm, can't they?
Yes, they can. If I want to run my almond farm, I have to fill out paperwork. I send it to a bank analyst. The bank analyst says, oh, they look pretty stable. We're going to give them this loan. You get your operating loan. You can continue to function. If you perform poorly and have bad business, unless there was something like a mitigating factor, like a natural disaster where there's insurance policies in there to protect you, you don't get that loan again. You don't get a second chance. You lose it, and you've got to start over from square one, pick yourself up by the bootstraps and move forward. And for some reason, we have politicians and people who think with our government, when they run it, if they screw up, that they just hit this print button and then it's good because they just made more money to pay the bills and the debt. I'm focusing on getting a master's in accounting right now because I think fiscal responsibility and understanding how that works is just crucial to running any business, and our government is basically a business, and we need to run it that way.
That's a very alien concept, I think, to a lot of elected individuals. I'm sorry but it's true. You're right. The print button seems to be the go-to guy as a solution for all the problems, and it's not that on some level that might be necessary at some point in time, but it's not the only answer.
Yes.
There are other answers, and I agree with you. I think that's good. Okay, as an elected official in the 16th district, you're going to spend some time here in California.
Yes.
And you're going to spend some time in Washington, D.C., right?
Yes.
Okay. How does that, do you have any idea how that works out time-wise? I mean, I'm just asking because I have no clue.
Well, I have been reading a lot, and I know I read an article or a blog written by a prior congressperson who said they worked 60 to 80 hours a week, and 70 to 80% of that time was spent fundraising so they could win again next year, and the other portion of that was spent doing their job, reviewing bills that are getting passed. And I just think that's ridiculous. If you're doing a good job, you should then win. So you should be spending 100% of your time focusing on reading legislation, knowing what you're passing and how it's going to impact the people, and helping write other legislation to help the people. And when the people in your district say, gee, look at Botello did an excellent job up there, it doesn't matter if I have $2 million to ship out flyers and brainwash the general public into knowing my name. They're going to know that they saw results when I was up there, and they're going to recognize me from that, and they're going to want to vote for me for those reasons. And that's what every politician should be held to as a standard.
Well, that's kind of a novel concept. You know, don't you know that when the election's over, the new election season starts the following day? I mean, that's business as usual.
Yes.
You know, which means fundraising starts, never ends. And, you know, which brings me to a part of a darker part of the political process, and that's the lobbyist. You know,
Yes.
now, I'm not trying to paint in a broad brush all lobbyists as being, you know, out of control or whatever, but lobbyists hold an incredible amount of power. Some people say that is the fourth. You know, we often say we've got the judicial, we've got the, you know, the executive, and we've got the legislative, and they used to say that we have the, you know, the print, the media, or whatever. It's the judicial, the executive, the legislative, and the lobbying. And somewhere beyond that, and it's fallen, it seems like, even farther away, as the people that's supposed to hold everybody accountable, and that's the media itself. But lobbying is a very big issue. And I mean, have you been contacted by I mean, are people trying to you know, get close to you now so that when you get elected that they've got a contact or anything? Have you seen that happen in your experience?
I've had some people be nicer to me than I think they probably would have been if I wasn't doing what I'm doing. But we give the lobbyists that power by being the citizens that elect our politicians, and we elect people in there who aren't strong enough to say, I don't care what you have to offer. I get paid well to do my job. My job is to protect my district and my people, and that's what I'm doing. I don't care what you have to offer.
Now, the fellow that you'll be running against has been in that office for how long?
He's only been in Congress for 8 years, but he started as an intern for Zinovich back in 1974. He then went on to be elected to state assembly, state senate, and now U.S. Congress. He's been in office for 35 plus years.
35 years with no real work experience in the real world.
He jumped straight from college to that. I jumped straight from college to my farm and my real estate. I've since headed to prison working as the use of force coordinator for the warden, and I worked on my Juris Doctorate, and now I'm working on my master's.
What do you see as a person coming into politics without all the years of political stuff? What do you see as your strongest point that you bring? What do you bring that's going to, besides the fact that you might be in a differing political party, which sometimes really doesn't mean a whole lot today, what do you see that if I vote for Joanna, that she's going to bring to the table that I'm not seeing at the current, you know, elected official?
Well, one of the things that I've made it my goal to get across this district and get out there, and career politicians get tired and a little bit lazy because they've been in there for a while, and so they don't want to work as hard. They can hit a print button and send out mass media. And I think that it's important that you get out there and you meet your constituents. And there's 700,000 people that live in this district, and I made it my goal to try to meet as many of those people before the June primary as I can. And I've been working hard to get out to all the different events in the different counties and do that. You should know your congressperson. I talked to someone the other day who said, oh, Mija, I don't vote. I don't get involved in that. It's too confusing. And I was like, you need to vote. It's important. And she was looking at my card and she's like, Congress? Wait a minute, Mija, if I vote for you and you get elected and you're Congress, does that mean that I would know my congressman? And I said, yes, you would know your congressman, and you should know your congressman, because your congressman represents you in this district, and there's not one person that lives in this district that shouldn't have a right to meet and greet and have a conversation with their congressman.
That's an interesting concept also. You know, congressmen seem to be, you know, there's like various steps or stages you got to jump through, hoops you got to jump through in order to get to your congressman. But oftentimes, living in the district here, your congressperson is really your only real go-to person. It's your advocate for stuff, particularly again as we're dealing with agriculture and stuff, where government legislation, laws, and regulations and stuff are so big that if I'm an individual, I don't belong to a pack, I don't belong to a group. I just and I've got an issue. Being able to reach out and touch your congressperson and get a response can be very, very important.
You should be able to. I will never say I'm the smartest person in the room. There's always great ideas out there, and I always want to be open to hearing someone else's idea because it might be better than mine. And I might want to take that idea and move it forward and use it because that's what good ideas are for.
All right. Well, Joanna Botel, listen, good luck on
Thank
your
you.
journey. I think this is a great adventure, and I hope to see your name, Congressional District 16 behind it. Okay?
Thank you very
All
much.
right.
It's
Very
excellent
good. Thank
being
you.
here.
If you've got something to say and you'd like a place to say it, check out centralvalleytalk.com. We are interviewing for new talk show hosts at this time. If you'd like to advertise on centralvalleytalk.com, go to our website and it'll tell you what to do. centralvalleytalk.com.
The hunt to quench your thirst is on. Ecolo Blue is a revolutionary atmospheric water generator, producing water straight from the air, up to 8 gallons a day at 20 cents per gallon with no additional hookup required. Ecolo Blue is the clear champion of the water solution revolution. To health, to purity, to the pursuit. Ecolo Blue.
Hi, Stan Gross of Horn Photo. Are you looking for a camera that takes better pictures than your phone? Why not give Horn Photo a shot? We can show you fantastic cameras from Nikon, Canon, Sony, and GoPro. Your time is valuable, so before you buy from Costco, Best Buy, or the internet, come see us. We've got great prices and deals, super knowledgeable staff, and we've been selling cameras in Fresno for 76 years. We're in the Villaggio at Blackstone and Nees, or go to hornphoto.com, Fresno's Camera Center.
Own it all at Own a Car, Fresno.
Ag is a vital part of the economy here in the Central Valley. Hi, I'm Ty Simpson, sales manager of the new Bland Solar office here in Clovis. And if you're in the ag industry, you've probably given thought to solar. Whether you run a dairy, orchard, farm, or ranch, at Bland Solar, we can custom design a system that's perfect for your business. The fact is that in this economy, replacing high-cost utility power with solar power is a great way to improve your bottom line. Bland Solar looks forward to serving the residents of the Central Valley. So call us today at 554-5657. Bland Solar, the Valley's expert in solar.
So why switch to Dish?
With Dish, you get more options, you get more value, you get more channels. With Dish, you get more.
And now you get more for less. Save up to $872 in just your first year with our best deal ever. With promotional prices starting at just $19.99 a month for 12 months.
We've gotten better quality, better customer service.
And now you can even get HD channels free for life.
We are Dish customers for life. We love Dish.
This is our best deal ever. Call now to switch to Dish.
For all of your real estate needs, call Mike Briggs Properties, 559-486-6758, or check us out at MikeBriggsProperties.com.
CentralValleyTalk.com